Shalom, back for another video. The honors to the elders, sing honors to the apostles, preaching and teaching us the word of truth and sincerity as always. Alright, shalom. First and foremost, all praise to the Most High, Messiah, the honors once again. The like-minded camps. Now I want to get into this lesson still. It's sharing some things that's pretty crazy and out of order, completely out of order. These Jakes in particular I'm gonna show in these clips are completely. One of them is way completely bugged out, but the other clip is just it's less disturbing, I guess, but it's still off. Jake is still going off, getting lineups and stuff, cutting Jake's hair in school and stuff. Hosea 4:6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because I was rejected knowledge. What is the knowledge? You gotta go to Deuteronomy 4th chapter to get that. Deuteronomy 4:6. Observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding to the nations. Observe them carefully. You go back up to verse 5. It says, I have taught you decrees. Decrees are laws. And it says here, and laws as the Lord Yahweh, my power commanded me. There is Moses speaking. So that you may follow them in the land you are entering to take possession of it, to observe them carefully, for this will show your wisdom and understanding to the nations, God, who will hear about all these laws, decrees, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. What other nation is so great as to have their gods near them the way the Lord our God, Yahweh, is near us whenever we pray to him? And what other nation is so great as to have such righteous decrees and laws as this body of laws I am setting before you today? Because when you go into the law, statutes, the commandments of Yahweh, it was such a perfect order and setup that you couldn't get more richer than the next Jake. Every Jake was able to have as much success and opportunity as the other Jake next to him. And even if you were in such a low position where you were poor, another Jake would have to allow you to work for him. You always had to work to give it, as long as we weren't fucking up or messing up. The Lord wouldn't have to send any plagues or famine or nothing like that. And we would have plenty of work, plenty of cattle, plenty of land. If we wanted more land, we would be able to go and take from the other nations and take their land, and the Lord would be with us. So there was always like a way for Jake, an easy way for Jake to. It was no such thing as having a college degree or doing all this studying of the man's knowledge to get up in the system. All you would have to do is learn the simply the law statutes of Yahweh shot, man, and you would have an easy ticket and access to wealth and land and cattle, produce. It was so perfect that even the poor would be able to eat off of the feuds, the gleaning grapes of the feuds, because you wouldn't be able to take everything from your feuds. That's wicked. Here in America, what Esau does is he plants apple trees. He takes every single fucking apple from that tree. That shit is wicked. You're supposed to leave at least 10 trees, 10 apples in each tree, man. That apple tree's big as hell. You can get 50 apples off that. Shit, leave 10, leave 15, leave 10, leave 5. You should at least leave something, man. Not take every single one from him. And some of them fall while you're picking them. Let's leave those on the ground, whatever. Leave them to the animals, the birds, as well, because the animals and birds also will need to eat off of that, man. Esau is wicked, man. And that Lord should judge that too, because they like to take every single. They got all those grapes. Esau likes to take every single fucking grape, man. I saw that one day passing by this whole apple orchard, and there was no fucking apples on that fucking tree, man. Yeah, that shit is just selfish and wicked, man. You don't care about no one but yourself, man. Leave some fucking apples on there for the next person, man. Be considerate. But here we got this video of this wicked Jake, man. Look at this shit, bro. Come grocery shopping with me. This is a dude. This is a dude, Doc. Look at this shit, man. A single Betty who lives on her own on a $300 budget. You already know the drill. Come. Would you believe me if I told you I haven't been grocery shopping in over 2 weeks? Nice and quiet. Oh my God, we are locked. It was a whole fucking bag, bro. I got pissed off when I saw this, man. The first time I saw this. Now I'm desensitized, but... Insecure, honey. Do you see how nice and quiet it is? I definitely need some alcohol for my wig. 91? Yeah, I need this. This just does not smell good. Everybody be lying. Had to re-up on my favorite. This one smells so good. And I need this. It smells so freaking amazing. Champagne bubbles. They don't have the ones with the siblets anymore. Oh no. I need more clear forks. Cause honey, who's doing dishes? Hawaiian Breeze is my favorite. I need some game. I need my Fat Blossom. This one is my favorite. Okay, now let's get into the food because, honey, I needed a whole bunch of stuff over there. Small thing of milk. Ooh. I bought these last time. They were so good. It's just me. This is all I need. Yeah, and as you see, that's the dude, man, for all that makeup. As you see, man, so this video here in particular got 100K views. And I bet you mostly women watching this as well. A lot of women are supporting these male Karens, man. These male transvestites. But it's lucky I had to play that, but I just ran into this and had to show it, man, because JJ's definitely a perfect example right here. I had to make it opportunity to make a video as well, showing you how, reminding you how Jake is still destroyed, man. He needs deliverance, and the only way a man like this is gonna be delivered is by a missile, nuclear missile, man, exploding above his head, vacuuming with the vacuuming effect. That's what a missile does when it, just before it doesn't just hit the ground and then explode. It hits right in midair, just a couple feet above the ground, and then it basically sucks everything up first and foremost, and then it blows it all the way back up, and then it releases all its flames and fire. When you go into it. So I'm gonna Google what is the vacuum effect of a missile, a nuclear missile. The vacuum effect is primarily associated with thermobaric weapons, often called vacuum bombs, which are highly destructive. Conventional munitions rather than standard nuclear missiles. However, in the context of nuclear weapons, the term can refer to rarefaction phase of an atmospheric blast wave or the behavior of a nuclear explosion in the vacuum of space. Thermobaric vacuum bonds. That's what it's called. Conventional. Fueled spiral. An initial explosive charge spreads an aerosol cloud of fuel such as vaporized gasoline, coal dust, or metal particles over a wide area. A second charge ignites this cloud, creating a massive fireball. In a long duration shockwave, the explosion consumes all surrounding oxygen to sustain the fire, creating a partial vacuum. Lethality. The subsequent vacuum effect can rupture the lungs of anyone in the vicinity and pull loose objects toward the explosion's center. These weapons are particularly effective in confined spaces like bunkers, tunnels, and caves. It says no shock wave. Without air, there is no medium to create a blast wave or a mushroom cloud. In a vacuum, roughly 95% of the energy is released as ionizing radiation. Con. Yep. So that's what it is there. That's what's gonna happen to this Jake right here, man. It's gonna be brought into that vacuum. And once again, man, he's not he wasn't given the proper spirit, man, to be looked at as wise and understanding in the sight of the nations. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Surely observe them carefully. What's one of the laws once again? Man shall not wear. Man shall not wear. Here it is, Deuteronomy 22 and 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, as though this dykes trying to dress like a man, wearing pants and stuff like that. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all who do so are an abomination unto the Yahweh thy power. As that dude right there, he's a walking, talking abomination. Man shall not lie with man. More than likely, that's what he's doing behind the scenes. Leviticus 18 and 22. In his private life, he's more than likely popping another man. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. So yeah, he's not applying that. Hence why he's looking like an Edomite, man. That's really what the heathens were doing. The heathens was on, man, and it's still on, man. That's really what the heathens are supposed to be doing. But this is a Jake right here. I perceive he's a Jake. Me personally, I have my blood brother that's I know for sure he's an Israelite. But off just based off of his growing up with him as a boy and just knowing how he would carry himself at first. But I mean, at this point, I would consider him a heathen, really knowing this truth. And he's a full boat on Mo. He even dresses like a Mo, like a woman, and changed his name to a woman's name, a feminine name, because he thinks he's a woman. He's sad because he wishes he was a woman. And I even told him, bro, like my mom, I told her like he's gonna have to be destroyed, and he's gonna come back knowing he's a woman. I mean, it's like knowing he's a man in his right mind and being happy that he is a man, or he's supposed to be a man. Slip of the tongue there, Salakia, Deuteronomy 4. But yeah, man, they're both not applying it. And other jigs that are in that same, following that same way, they're not applying them commandments, man. Not dressing like a woman. And you're not sleeping with men, or not having this attraction to men as with women. Especially not in no sexual way, man. That's just completely off. And those two guys need to go on some serious meditation, man, and fasting. Oh man, bro, them Jakes ain't gonna. They don't got the right spirit, man. I'm gonna get this other clip that I had. There's enough on this guy. He's wearing the dresses and makeup and shit, or a wig too. And man, he's supposed to have long hair. Also, to those Jakes that may not be like all full on mode like this guy, but with long hair, yeah, that shit is off.
Look how beautiful. All right, y'all. Look at this big, beautiful home. Look at all that green. Look how beautiful. Look at it. Busa.
I thought this was bugged out. It's been a while, but I'm gonna get like a better clip here.
Cool. What's up, bro? I'm a barber, bro. I was wondering if I could cut you up real quick. I got my stuff on me. You trying to see my work? I got you. How much you charge? 25, bro. I get you right in the bathroom real quick. I got everything. Let's do it, man. What you getting, bro? Little blowout? Nah, we not done. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hey, I already started cutting your stuff. Come on.
Finding a new spot.
Oh my gosh. That shit is bugged out, man. I'll keep playing it here, man.
What's up, man?
That shit is bugged out, man. So I thought this was bugged out, man, because once again, man, this law says, so just say in Leviticus 19 and 27, there's a law, but to those young jakes, man, there's a law on that little trim they're doing on their heads, and that guy's charging jakes. And that's another thing. I mean, that's bugged out to be doing that on in a school, man, in a public school like that. You should be there to learn. Then again, I'll give it to him because I mean, the school system is a fool system, man. But I mean, he could at least be. I mean, maybe he did that specifically there to get views, to get some clout, because he's gonna be like, yeah, but I'm doing it in school. I'm gonna record it. I know I'm gonna get a lot of views if I do it in the schools though, while the school is in the session. Leviticus 19 and 27. You shall not round off the corners of your heads, and you shall not mark the corners of thy beard. of that beard, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, I'm not innocent either. I've had my fair share of folly and ignorances, but I meditated about that the other day as well, and basically on how I really never paid attention in school. I never really ended up graduating from high school. I really skipped a lot of school and didn't ever really pay attention, really. So I was lying to my parents and all the whole time and making them think I was actually focusing on school and stuff, but it wasn't even the case. Well, at some point I just gave up and kept skipping school and stuff. But yeah, I made it to this spirit. I mean, the Lord made me to the other day. Really, the Lord set it up for me that way to, because we had to learn and we had to see the side of that folly and ignorances of this flesh. That wasn't the way, my way, of the way the Lord had me to learn the consequences of this and my personal lot. Now the Lord's dealing with me, and also so I'm a humble down too and not get too puffed up and focus on Him. And a way to help me, this is Leviticus 19 and 27, though, the scripture about that cutting the head of the hairs, corners of your head, and then the corners of your beard. And the DRA, it says 19, and the DRA, Leviticus 19:27. Nor shall you cut your hair round wise, nor shave your beard. Yeah, and that jig is trimming it all the way up to above the his hairline. Really, your hairline isn't really aligned. It's not supposed to be aligned, Jake. The reason Jake's get that is because he wants his head perfect, his hair perfect. But that was really a custom of the Egyptians. The Lord wants us to have the rough looking, um, patchy and rough looking look without, because with that's how brothers who got the full beards on and all their hair still. We notice we don't got all the lineups, and that does make us look a bit more rough and not really well put. I ain't gonna lie, but that's how the Lord wanted us to look now. It's also because to separate us. This was the custom of the Egyptians. Now, so I googled, where does the lineups on your hair, man, originate from? Basically, the hairline thing. This is primarily originated within the African American community and gained widespread mainstream popularity during the 1980s. While precise origins are debated, it emerged as a clean geometric alternative to the voluminous afros of the 1960s and 70s. 1980s popularization of style became a hallmark of the 1980s urban hip hop scene, often paired with the high top fade. Artists such as Big Daddy Kane and Rakim are credited with popularizing the look toward the end of the decade. By the 1990s, the lineup had become standard in American barbershops. It is now considered an essential component of professional grooming for varies hair types influenced by athletes like Dwayne Wade, and other entertainers. But you notice how it's always the black man leading the trends. But really, it goes further back than this. Because really, when you go back to it, I mean, Jake always makes it look pop and he makes it cool. But really, it goes back to these Egyptians, man. If you were to go further back, so I'm gonna ask AI this way: is lining up your hair an Egyptian custom? I'm gonna go to images, see if anything pops up. Nothing on really on there. But I used you could see it though still on these Egyptian hieroglyphs. You can see their hairs lined up though. Like that. Those are probably Jakes too, who thought they were Egyptians. And I'm sure you had Israelites that left Israel to go and be like the Egyptians as well. I wouldn't be surprised, but even going further back to Solomon's time, King David's time. It says ancient Egyptians placed significant emphasis on hair grooming as a symbol of status, power, and cleanliness. Though modern techniques are like the lineup a part of a broader African cultural continuity, while ancient artwork depicts highly structured hair and wigs, the precise geometric patterns. The specific origin of the lineup or shape-up is deeply rooted in the historical grooming practices across the African continent. Yeah, because it might not even be. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not getting really any deep information. It might not even be necessarily an Egyptian thing. Um, the specific actual lineup, but the Egyptians definitely didn't put a razor on their head and shave the bald. That's still considered a lineup though, similar, very similar. But yeah, the lineup and specifically, it might be a more modern. It's just a more modern way of shaving your head, but not completely shaving it. But it still is off. Because the Lord says not to shave our heads off either at all. Which yeah. Yeah, that right there, he's using the razor right there.
Go. Yes, sir, bro. We done. Let me know how you feel. You got the phone, yeah. You slice message, bro. You got me back in the game, bro. Ain't even lie. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, so yeah, I got another clip I gotta play, man. This is kind of like a, I don't even know, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, this woman is like, I don't even know, man. I just thought this was kind of like well, way off in folly. It was folly, but I mean, I kind of laughed at it too because it's like, what the fuck?
I chased my enemies and caught them. I did not stop until they were conquered. I struck them down so they could not get up. They fell beneath my feet. You have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued my enemies under my feet. You placed my foot on their necks. I have destroyed all who hated me. They called for help, but no one came to their rescue. Kinda like dirt. As soon as they hear of me, they submit.
So she's wearing some
Foreign nations cringe.
yeah, then she's got a book called Flat Power there. I mean, I'm not sure. This doesn't really have as many views, so but it's still off, man. I mean, they're still jakes, and I got might as well speak on it there. And then the other clip, the woman was or the clip I played before that clip, and then that clip, the woman was passing by. I guess that must be Boozy's house. I mean, first off, I don't know why you're showing his house like that without his permission. I mean, that dude can be put in risk for that. But on top of that, that's a grown woman. I mean, I thought it was this bugged out because that's a grown woman filming some rapper celebrity's house. I mean, that's not really you. That's basically idol worshiping. To film his house like that. I mean, he's not he's not that important like that for you to be filming his house like that, like a fan of him or something like that. I mean, that's off. That's looking up to a man like that is off. I mean, you can be inspired and find inspiration from a man's wisdom. I know his brother's wise, and I'm gonna listen to him because his wisdom he speaks inspires me to push on for Yahweh Shai. There's nothing wrong with that, but yeah, that whole just like in general, that whole fandom aspect of looking to a man like that and looking up to a man like that shit is off. And ultimately, really, it's not even in people's spirit to, especially on this side, how low we are to have attention like that from women like me personally. Today I was on my way back from this interview, this job interview. I was look saw it happen to see this Asian chick, fine looking, skinny, fine looking older Asian woman looking at me and all thirsty at me like that. And I was just on my bike, bro. I'm not even in the car. And she's looking at me like this. And me personally, I wasn't even really looking at that like no opportunity because I'm not even used to women giving me attention like that. I don't even like to the point I'm so used to not getting a woman's attention like that I don't even really want a woman's attention like that. Neither do I want to crave a woman's attention like that. But maybe in the kingdom though, when the Lord boosts my self-esteem and I can open up for a woman like that, because I know in the kingdom the Lord's ultimately gonna put the spirit in us to it and give us our heart's desire. Now in this kingdom, we understand the Lord has humbled us down, especially the elect man. But yeah, man. That going back to that clip of that chick showing Boozy's house. I mean, that's just weird. Like, you wouldn't want someone filming your house and then just post saying, "Oh, this is your house here." Damn, look at this house. That's just bug it out, man. I mean, even if you don't put the address on it, like that's still bugged out, bro. People don't. unless you're like Elon Musk and rich like that, the average person doesn't really ain't really gonna appreciate that because they're not expecting you to give them any attention like that. I mean, there's better ways of getting someone's attention. This is Hosea 4 and 6, or they're just gonna look at you like weird, basically. But this is Hosea 4 and 6. Yeah, because you gotta know the person first. At least you gotta know the person. This is Hosea 4 and 6. My people were destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. As the scriptures will say, let the woman learn in silence. 1 Timothy 2:11. Let a woman learn in silence with all submission, and I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man, but to be in silence. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. Right here, the woman ain't even in silence, so she doesn't really love Yahweh. I mean, Jake has a zeal, and ultimately, it's the Lord. It's in the Lord's will for most of Jake is not to understand His word until they come back in the kingdom. But yeah, she can't really claim to love the Lord Yahweh Messiah because she isn't in silence right here, as we see right here.
Yeah. Rest in peace to all public leaders. We gon' die for them. Different breed of youngins, they in training, ain't no stopping them. Stay equipped with ballin' clips, no movies, got a lot of them. They already itch to get them demons right up out of them. No marching, we ain't dreaming. We ain't Martin Luther King, ain't no we shall overcome. We ain't into all that singing, we just swinging. Watch your back, rapping red and green and black. We ain't always out on defense, we play offense on attack. If they practicing their evil, we distribute pain as equal. Waging get back for my people. Man, it's up and it's stuck. All our soldiers, PhDs, they professors, they gon' teach you. Heard you love to pray to God, we gon' make sure that He meets you. Second, keep him running, have you moving, got you right on track. Catch him on that corner with 2 quarters, got him running back. It's a dog world, shorty, so you cannot trust a cat. Lolly Marcus Garvey, RBG, the real men in black. The liquor and the drugs is a plan to get us messed up. But Amos Wilson gave us the blueprint, it's time to step up. A real man stay solid and is polished from the neck up. Cause real wars waging, academia time to test up. King Leopold taught 10 million Africans lessons. They may come dressed as freedom, but be strapped with oppression. It's a game of aggression, economics the weapon. Listen up, they working day and night to stop your progression. Took your home, took your soul, took your gold. Better keep that heat, cause they cold. They acting like they friend, but they foe. They slaughtered up the children and the old. Their mission, take your power, eat you whole. They offended by my actions cause I'm taking them on. Seeing clearly through their methods, so I'm reading along. They know we become a threat when we creating a bomb. So they want us weak, divided, but united we're strong. Mentally supremacy, I checkmate with a pawn. Can't put questions on my ethics, we just righting the wrong. Ain't no more committing a crime, taking back what belong. They don't like it when we play that game, we taking them on. This is more than a song. This intellectual weaponry. Game of chess, no checking me. Speak the truth.
She actually went in, so she's going for the like peep. She's going for the Black Powers slash Zeal of God vibe to her. Actually, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't expecting the rap to be that good, man. But I wasn't expecting. I thought it was some hood stuff because looking at the mask in the back and stuff, and it looked like it's in a rough area. I thought she was gonna be talking about murdering and drug dealing, but she actually spit some intellectual raps, a woke rap there with, yeah, but it's still off, man. no matter how good you are at music, too, at, as well, the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. How about Shai ain't really dealing with that. It says, lean not upon your own understanding. This is Proverbs 3 and 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. How about Shai, man?
They threaten me, ready for any and everything that lies ahead of me. Student of the law, I keep the Second Amendment next to me. Ain't asking if they ready, but yeah, they better be. Mobilization, information, and knowledge, that's the key. No more taking disrespect, yeah, that's a threat, respectfully. Ain't no more taking them knees, we stay ready, dreading deeds. Damn.
Let's see some of the comments here. This airflow was crazy. It says, a nation rises no higher, this person said here. A nation rises no higher than the woman, the ancients. He said he's quoting the ancients. This guy says, so much respect for this one. This is more than a song. This is intellectual weaponry. The highest intellectual weaponry is of Yahweh Shai, man. Or the name, knowing who you are. And I saw that he was reading the book called Black Power, which they're not black. They're Judah. Your actual nationality, Jake, to you my fellow black brothers, this is your actual national race the Lord gave you would be translated to he thinks Yahweh, he thinks God. That's actually what your name would, race of your name would mean. He thinks the power. He thinks I think my power. I think my God. That's what the actual translation of your tribe would mean. Your race would mean. Not just black. Not just a color from the crayon box. You just being called black. You think that's just what the Lord just wanted to call you black. Here you go. Just call you black. This is our name. Is just black. No, your name translates to I think my power. I think Yahweh the Hebrew. So Judah would mean. And you got some Mexicans. Your actual translation of your name would be he is hired. My name, my tribe would be, my actual tribe wouldn't be called Mexican. It would be called he is hired. Yes, Shuskar, I'm hired. I am hired. You want to get a job done, you hire the Mexicans, man. That's the first thing you do. You hire the Mexicans. You want to cut your grass cut. You want to got a whole lot of grass, a whole lot of lawn, construction. You want to do some roofing. You hire the Mexicans for that, man. Puerto Ricans really wouldn't become a Puerto Rican. Your actual name the Lord gave you, God gave you, would be from I am fruitful. He is fruitful. That's what your name would be. So when I look at a Puerto Rican, I would really have to be calling him. He's fruitful. He's fruitful. That's what your name would actually be. A Puerto Rican, man. Our names, our Hebrew names in our culture actually meant something. It means something. And even when you go into a lot of hood names like Even the name Sharkeisha, as ghetto as the context it has, it actually goes back to a more Swahili culture. And Swahili is a mix of Hebrew, of it's really a mix of. It's like that name really necessarily isn't even bad. Even when you look up that name, and Sharkeisha actually has a beat to it. Yeah, when you look up the name Sharkeisha, it's actually a beautiful name. It actually goes back to Orchestra, meaning a favorite or cassiatry. Come to find out, and I wouldn't really, yeah, I wouldn't, yeah, but going back to the curse though, man, that's curses though, because really when I think of that name, the first thing that comes up is the meme of Sharkeisha and the ghetto context behind it, and baby mama drama and all that shit, but it really goes back to it actually mean the name actually is it's a Swahili and it means a favorite, psychiatry. That's actually a beautiful name. It's a yeah, it's a African American name. It is considered a modern phonetic and unique name. Yeah, when you go into the word phonetic, it's it goes back to like the Hebrew. Look this up. This phonetic Hebrew mixed languages. As modern Israeli Hebrew is considered a mixed language in its phonetic sound system. This phonetic Hebrew language is just as modern Hebrew is. I'm gonna just look this up. What does phonetic mean in Hebrew? Phonetic does not mean Hebrew, but Hebrew is a phonetic language, meaning its letters mostly produce consistent sounds in its context. Phonetic Hebrew or transliteration. Yeah, when you go into the word phonetics, yeah, it basically does mean Hebrew, because they're saying it's basically phonetic just means a language that kind of like rolls off the tongue, and that's Hebrew for you. Abba, Gada, Hawazaka. It's really that's what key. It goes back to Swahili language. Last time I looked it up, which was like a while back ago. Yeah, it says it's generally yeah, Starkeisha is generally considered a uniquely American feminine name, not originating from Africa, Arabic, or European languages, but obviously it is from Africa because J came from Africa. Yeah, although it incorporates phonetic patterns found in Swahili names. Yeah, it is a Swahili name. The name belongs to a class of at times controversial or stylized, hyphenated or combined naming patterns. Look, Hisha de Kwana that gained traction in American culture. So yeah, but it is originally would be an African name. Like even when if you were to look at similar African, let's see, African names. Ayana, Ayana, that sounds like a hood name. Nala, Nala, Nala. That's another Swahili African feminine name Ayana, which would mean beautiful flower, and that's Swahili. Another name here is Makina, which means happy one. That's a deep name, really. When you look at it like a hood name, like that's why even now when I see someone with like a name like that, I really think of Israelite, man. A royal family, a royal line, man. Um, is so I'm gonna look this up. Last time I looked this, it's Swahili. Yeah, it's Swahili African. Yes, Swahili is a quintessential African language and culture. I'm gonna look this up now. So those are Swahili names. Does so I'm gonna put the Swahili have some ancient Hebrew alphabet touch to it. The Swahili have some Hebrew touches behind the language. This is more, they say, Google saying here, modern Swahili does not use the ancient Hebrew alphabet, though it shares deep, pay attention, listen to this one, though it shares deep historical and linguistic connections to the Semitic language family through its extensive use of Arabic loan words and its past use of the Arabic script. And the Arabic script was what Ezra was have been using. That's what Yahushua would have been also using some Arabic because when they crucified Yahushua, they also wrote his name in Arabic, Greek, and Hebrew. Also showing how the Israelites were going to be scattered in Greece and in the Greek and in Arab and the Middle East. The Swahili language has utilized different alphabets over its history, neither of which was directly the ancient Paleo Hebrew script. Yeah, but it did say it does have the connections to the Semitic language family through its extensive use of the Arabic script. And Arabic is very close to that. There is an indirect, so it may not be completely direct, but indirect. It was just still a connection. There is an indirect. That's like basically saying, your great grandfather, you didn't really know him, so you're not directly connected to him, but you still, without him, you wouldn't have existed. So basically, without the Hebrew, yeah, everything points back to the Hebrews, man, because Jacob is the former of all things. And there's no coincidence that that name is very Hebrew and very deep. I mean, basically, the Swahili that's closer to Hebrew, I would say, than the English language. I mean, you got word names like Abinai, Zerai. Kind of sounds like Zariah in the Hebrew. Zariah. Asha. Kind of sounds like Asha right there. That's an actual word in the Swahili. That sounds very close to Masha, man. And the name Masha is the actual name in the Hebrew. And I'm noticing a lot of I's as well instead of E's being used, or just for just as much E's, you have just as much I's, man. You have the Igbo name, which means this name here is another female name, Chai Maka, Chai Maka, which means God is beautiful. And these are beautiful names, man. I like those names. And so, yeah, I mean, that's really the point of the lesson. Black people are beautiful, man. Jake is beautiful, man. You got beautiful names, man. The name Sharkeisha or Keisha is a very beautiful name, actually. Keisha means great joy. It actually means A fun fact: it actually means the name Sharkeisha means great joy, and it's a Swahili rooted word. And Swahili is very close to Hebrew, and yeah, and it originates from Africa. Makes a lot of sense. Which points that you Israelites go back to our Hebrew, in fact, related are in fact Hebrew Israelites, because you can't we're brought here from Africa. It makes sense why you still have names like Keisha or Sharkeisha or what's that other word? These are just just getting the female names, or Dequana, but those are really African names. Those goes back to African rooted names, Swahili or Igbo tribe names, man. So I think that's the point of the lesson. Hopefully this has been edifying, and I'll just get this last clip here actually.
One person grabbed the milk. But listen. So this what we gonna mess up at, right? What do we see when we see this milk? Close the door. What do we see? We don't just see milk, right? We read the labels. What does that milk say? Milk, good to go? All right, here we go. So the 2% milk, find the 2% milk. Because we could be getting something that could expire. See, for example, 26 milk, do we? It's right here, say March 25th.
And that's spirit, because we just spoke on the lineups. You have the teacher there. He's got the lineup right there. His beard is all perfectly lined up right there.
We gotta call our wife because we gotta see what kind of milk to get, right? Here we go. So here we go. Y'all ready? Hey, she said get 2% milk. Good to go? All right, here we go. So the 2% milk, find the 2% milk. Find the 2% milk. We ain't just grabbing it either. What we gonna look at? The price. Not just the price. We're looking at the price. But when we looking at milk or any of those items, we need to look at the date because we could be getting something that could expire. See, for example, right here, this right here say March 25th. March 25th, how many days from now? That's 2 days from now. You understand that? Yes, so you want milk that last 2 days, we're gonna grab that. So we don't want that March 26th milk, do we? You gonna bring that home, your wife gonna have your head. You understand me? Everybody say first in, first out. First in, first out. That means all the old stuff gonna be in the front and the new stuff gonna be in the back. You understand that? Yes, sir. So what we gonna do is look toward the back. Cause you see that milk right there? That bad boy say what? It say April the 12th. We got plenty of time with that milk, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab that milk. You understand that? Yes, sir. Do we understand?
Now, I don't knock teaching the youth and bringing the youth up in knowledge and wisdom of the world, of in the secular world. You gotta handle your business. But I like to think of Ezra. Ezra was big on teaching the laws, man. And it says in the book of Ezra, I think it's the book of Nehemiah. So that was a very powerful team right there. You had Nehemiah, you had Ezra. You can't have one without the other, man. And in that time, Ezra was focused on teaching his people, not just worldly wisdom, but the Bible's wisdom, the Lord's laws. I might as well pull that up. I got to pull that up. Yeah, it was in Nehemiah 8 and particularly the 3rd chapter. According to Nehemiah 8 and 3 in the Bible, Ezra the scribe read the law aloud from early morning until noon, not until sundown. On the first day of the 7th month, he stood on a wooden platform at the water gate, reading to all who could understand, with the people listening attentively from morning until midday. He details of the events in Nehemiah 8. The reading took place from morning until midday or daybreak until noon, and that's the whole point of the lesson. Going back to the earlier lesson, this is our wisdom and knowledge in the sight of the nations. Now, I'm not trying to get on these jakes for teaching jakes important things and all of that, but look.
Now, how to a grocery shop? Why does our mom say no sometimes? Sometimes her budget is different. You understand that? All right, cool. And last but not least, when we leave in the store and we got a wife and a daughter at home, hey, you might forget something at the store. You understand that? Yes, sir. Might couldn't afford to buy something either. So since we right here, we just gonna grab a quick little $20 flower. You understand that? Yes, sir. Just grab a little bouquet of flowers, man. You grab us some flowers. It's easy work. Couldn't afford to buy something either. So our mom say no sometimes. Sometimes her budget is different. You understand that? Yes, sir. All right, cool. And last but not least, when we leave in the store and we got a wife and a daughter at home, hey, you might forget something at the store. You understand that? Yes, sir. Might couldn't afford to buy something either. So since we right here, we just gonna grab a quick little $20 flower. You understand that? Yes, sir. Just grab a little bouquet of flowers, man. You grab us some flowers. It's easy work. You understand that?
This is teaching in the comments. It is teaching young boys to be young men. Absolutely beautiful. My man, I don't know you, but I'm proud of you. Keep teaching our youth how to become man. Oh, that got it. That just brought a scripture to my mind. Now, I'm not getting on this. Just get on these jakes. We love our people. We care for our people. The Lord cares for his people, man. And he's definitely going to raise his people on the level. They think they're on a level here. The Lord's going to actually put them on something, man. But it reminds me of what King David told his son, man. I'm gonna get the scripture here. I gotta find it actually first, so just bear with me. Yeah, Lord ain't against teaching Jake some things, but this knowledge comes first, though, man. This knowledge comes first. And the scripture comes to my mind. It says Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves men, bring it against mind, O you transgressors. Because we done fucked up, man. We gotta be in spirit as well, bro. Going back to that rap song too, a lot of the comments on there were like, "Yeah, she's snapping, man. She wasn't necessarily singing bad things. She had a zeal, you can tell it in the video, because she was talented, but and she had a scripture, Psalm 18, verse 36-44. I think it's on her shirt, which is spirit, because it brought that out. Psalm 18, verse 40 and 41 in the last video. Going into how they going into how basically King David was whooping ass, so she definitely has a zeal. But it's like Jake ain't gonna get that. Jake ain't gonna get that rebuke that molds you to see and humbling you through a rap song. When you think of a rap song, you really ain't gonna feel no. You ain't gonna get cut by hearing the rap song. The word has to cut us. So we done fucked up. The Lord is always constantly humbling us, man. We really can't get no rest here. We're fighting constantly. Even when you go right here to 2nd Esdras 10:33 here, the Lord told Ezra here, be a man. And it says, and he said unto me, stand up manfully, and I will advise thee. So even Ezra right there, he got cut right there. He wasn't, the angel knew he wasn't ready to hear what he was about to tell us, so. There's 10 and 4. Second, there's 10 and 30. Alright, 31. What aileth thee, and why art thou the soul disquieted, and why is thine understanding troubled, and the thoughts of thine heart? Yes, so man really ain't supposed to be troubled like that. Anxiety and panicking. It's really something for a woman, because that can make a man look become weak, emotional. It's 32, and I said, because thou hast forsaken me, and yet I did according to thy words. And I went into the field, and lo, I have seen, and yet see that I am not able to express. So he was confused here. Ezra was confused as to how deep he was seeing these visions and explanations. And he was troubled in the heart, basically, plague of the heart. Verse 33, the angel says right here, and he said unto me, stand up manfully, and I will advise thee. Now, this is really how we become a man. Now I'm trying to find that one scripture. 1 Kings 2, verse 1 to 9. When David's time to die was near, he told his son Solomon, I am going the way of all the earth, so be strong and show yourself to be a man. Do what the Lord, now King David's telling Solomon to be a man, but he ain't telling him how to be a man. But here you go in verse 3, it tells him how. King David tells him out here in verse 3, do what the Lord your God tells you, walk in his ways, keep all his laws and his word by what is written in the law of Moses. Then you will do well in all that you do, and in every place you go. And the Lord will keep his promise to me. He has said to me, your sons must be careful of their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and soul. If they do, you will never be without a man on the throne of Israel. So yeah, that's how you become a man. King David told Solomon. I'm just going back to this video here. These Jakes teaching these younger Jakes. I'm perceiving that they're all Jakes. It says this comment here: our schools really need male teachers like this gentleman. This is the kind of education our children need in this generation. They also must be taught about finances. It will be boring, but so necessary in the society. And that's the thing, Jake. You wouldn't have to know all those kinds of things if you would have listened and kept the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemshah to begin with, when we were already set up in our original land, in our actual original laws that gave us the privileges and understanding that you seek so badly here, like a house, a home, possessions, money, enough food, enough water, enough resources, clean fresh water, clean fresh food, fruits, your whole people in order, your whole community, and your in our community all. I really don't want to say that word either, the community, but you get the idea. Our community in order. Then again, I think community just means you go into it, unity, and then one. I have to look more into that, but kind of. Your marriage is in order, your children in order. The problem is certain Jakes was just wicked. Certain Jakes wanted to commit adultery. They wanted to sacrifice their children. They wanted to go back to idols and be proud. That's the problem, really, the pride. And so this day, Jake thinks that Jake is ultimately the Lord put the spirit in Jake to not really repent. It says those boys should be also taught to take notice of what they frequently use, so they don't have to call it a wife. It's a good start, but still depends on the emotional labor of a female. Please help them to stop that. Now, right there, that's a proud comment. I mean, it depends too on really, but how you say it and stuff like that. But as you can say it jokingly, a man can understand the way his woman can just allows him to joke with him. He could be in love. Yeah. I get it. I mean, I respect teaching your kids, man, but I'm just emphasizing, man, that this is the Lord's laws and ways is the way. It is the way. It is the way, man. But if we were have been disobedient, then we wouldn't have to know all the ways of Esau and his laws. Because to know Esau's laws, that's a whole nother science in itself, and time and energy on that. We already had our own laws, though. You got to keep that in mind. You just got to keep that in mind, though. Doing that, we really in the back of your head, we really had our own laws, though. I didn't even really have to be reading these laws. I fucked up. We fucked up. The Lord's laws were perfect once again. Like, look and study into how perfect the Lord's laws were, man. Yeah, the king couldn't just tax, and it was so perfect in a way that where you were learning to not want to go off, not want to sin, because the Lord kind of has a sense of humor, because each time you sinned, you would have to give up money. Now I gotta give more money to the Lord. I might end up going broke if I commit too much sins because of the sacrificial system. Come with that, that's the point. Shalom and a bar.